Welcome to Fairy the Greyhound. After our visit to Scotland, we went to Wales. We visited one of our favourite places, Harlech. Usually we go to the beach for Fairy to have a run, but the weather was so bad that we decided to visit the castle. We were staying at Bedgellet Forest campsite, so we got up in the morning. It had been a chilly night and Fairy was wrapped up in her blankets, nice and cosy in the camper van. As always, in the mornings, Fairy wasn't keen on getting up out of her warm, cosy bed, but eventually we did manage to get her up. And as you can probably hear, it was raining. It's quite noisy on the roof of the van. There were lots of sheep roaming around the campsite this morning when I looked outside the van. Luckily, Fairy hadn't spotted them as she was still in bed, or she would have tried to chase them. They had their little lambs with them too. It's really nice to see sheep roaming around the campsite. That's one of the reasons we love this campsite. It's very wild. And whilst I was looking at the sheep, Fairy had gone back to sleep. Lazy girl. We got her up, gave her her breakfast, and packed our stuff ready to go to Harlech. As well as being the home of Fairy's favourite beach, Harlech also has the steepest road in the world. It has a 40% incline on one of its streets. You can't drive up this street, but one of the roads we drove up on the way to the castle was 20%, and that was steep enough. When we got inside the castle entrance, my daughter started messing about with the swords and shields that were in the shop. Fairy wasn't too impressed. We watched a video about the castle in the entrance, and then we made our way across the bridge to the castle. Fairy's not a fan of bridges, so she was quite cautious walking across as usual. The castle used to have a wide moat surrounding it and a drawbridge.
Gates, where are the gates? Oh, come on.
Fairy didn't seem too impressed with the castle. She probably thought, why on earth are we here when the beach is just over there and I could be going for a nice run? We had planned to go to the beach first and stopped off there in the car park, but you couldn't see a thing. It was cloudy, raining, and the wind nearly blew us over in the car park, so we decided against it. On a sunny day, I'm sure there are beautiful views of the beach from up here at the castle, but not today. It's only grass. Come on. Come on. So we wandered round the castle in search of answers to the questions on the quiz that my daughter was doing. So they had to find little signs placed around the castle, and they were clues where they had to write down the first letter and that spelt a word out in the end, which you could then get a prize. So we were doing laps of the castle as we couldn't find the little signs the first time round. I'm sure Fairy was getting very bored. But we did see another greyhound, so she did go and say hello to the other greyhound that we met. And there were quite a lot of dogs walking around the castle, as dogs are allowed in. The only place the dogs weren't allowed was up on the very top, because of it was narrow, so for people trying to get through. We looked at some models of how the castle used to look. The sea used to come right up to the base of the castle, but since then the sea level has changed and the sea is further out now. Go on then.
Mummy, stop! I can't see anything. There's light! Light, but it gets dark again. Mama, look at here. There's a big hole. Oh, there's more up there. If someone heard me, that would just be weird. That was loud.
We were calling Fairy from up on the tower. You can see her there down below. And it took her a while to see where we were calling from, but eventually she did look up and see us. She wondered what we were doing up there. She definitely wanted me to come back down. There was a statue of a horse outside the castle, so I looked up what it symbolised. We eventually found all the clues, spelt out the word, which was Watergate, and then we received the prize, which was this flag, which was stuck into Fairy's harness. In our next video, we're going to be visiting Aber Falls, which is one of the must-see sites in Snowdonia. I hope you enjoyed our visit to Harlech Castle more than Fairy did. Thanks for watching. If you haven't yet subscribed, please click the subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and we'll see you again soon.